Soul Without a Heart, DJ. Tell me about that title, please.
That title represents me during a phase of my life where I was in an abusive relationship.
Mm.
So that title represents that. It represents people I used to know. It represents the people that may find themselves in such a space. So the title is a double entendre, as are some of the titles on the record. And I just wanted to do something. Like I said, we talk about healing and feelings. So this album is definitely the feelings. We're about to get to the healing part in just a minute. But yes, this album is a few different things.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna kind of dig a little deeper with that because I love that title.
Thank
So,
you.
right, yeah. So I okay. So I know double entendre as far as finding the soul within, but also being soulful in your music. So that's kind of what I interpreted. All
Hmm.
right. And so with that being said, having no heart in it, that kind of cancels each other out. You know. So I'm wondering, does that make sense to you? Like, kind of, is that?
So for me, it was more or less like when we talk about just the place I was in life at that time. We're we're a shell. Any human is a shell.
Yes, yes.
And in order for that shell to come to life, you need a soul, you need a heartbeat. But when you're dealing with an individual that is constantly taking from you, at some point you're going to be depleted. You have nothing. So even the heart to do what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you don't even have it. There was a point in that situation where I felt like even if I left, I felt like I would die. So it was just like, so it's all of those things tied into one, and that's kind of the story that's being told throughout the album. And I didn't want to go and tell people, well, this is what you're going to hear, or whatever the case may be. I kind of wanted people to kind of find the story and develop their own interpretation of what the album is. The album for me may mean one thing, but to somebody else it may mean something else. And so I wanted them to be the one to interpret what it is.
Okay. All right. Well said. So now I also want to get into, you mentioned about how you felt that you was, doing a lot of giving and not as much, not as much was reciprocated,
Mhm.
and and that's when you feel like your soul left you because you lost yourself in a relationship, so your soul left you. How did you get it back?
Well, I one thing that I can say about me, I am a giver through and through. I oftentimes will give in and pour into people that won't pour back into me, or give to people that won't give back to me. So that's just naturally who I am. I'm the vessel, but I also had to learn there are limitations with that. A giver is never going to stop, is never going to say stop giving, because that's what they do. They thrive off of
Yeah.
what they're acquiring. They
Mhm.
are a beneficiary, for lack of better words. They're never going to say stop. You have to have enough self-love and self-control to say no. I'm not entertaining this, or I'm not giving any more to this. And be intentional about it. Be
Yes.
intentional about it. That also plays a major role. But at the time, like I said in the very beginning, because this album took a while to make, because while I'm creating it, I'm living it too. And so I evolved as a not just as a human, but as a grown man. I evolved in that space because I learned about accountability. I learned what it means to stand in what it is that you do. So these are things that were acquired over time. When I first started working on this, I accountability, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ownership, what's that? But we those are things that were acquired over time.
And I'm glad, and I love that for you, and I'm glad that you were able to. Because I think we all have a hard time. Because I know I have. I evolved a whole lot, DJ, throughout the years, but I do understand that part. Because unfortunately, and just a little piece here. I just want to insert this real quick. So we talk about accountability, because a lot of men, and no matter what orientation, a lot of men, they have a hard time with women taking accountability, and I get it.
I've been reading that a lot.
Yes. Oh, but it's true. It's true. As a woman myself, it's true, DJ. We do.
Okay.
Need to have a hard time owning it because, and you know what? I think is I also blame it on not just the feministic aspect of things, but also the double standard of it all. There's not a double standard. Double standard goes both ways. When it comes to women, there's more. Um, is more geared towards us when it comes to what we're able to be accountable for. And I'm gonna give you an example. When women have the tendency of wanting to buck up on a man, or they want equal rights, but only when it's convenient. You know what I mean? They want to
Mm-hmm.
change the trajectory when it comes to equal rights. But I'm like, well, you can't expect to curse at a man or buck up at a man, and you're not going to buck back. They starting to hit back nowadays. It's not like before when it was go up not to hit a girl. No, they hitting you back.
They're hitting
You
you back
know,
nowadays.
yeah,
Things
they
have
hit you back.
changed.
Yes, because you're starting stuff, but you started it. And you can't play the damsel in distress and play that woman card. And be the victim, but you started it.
And I
So
think as an
yeah,
adult, I'll even say, I just to piggyback off of that part, as an adult, that is a part for me that is a trigger in any situation. Like,
yeah,
don't just look at the result. Don't just look at the result. Look at what got you the result. You got to take ownership of that part. I literally just talked to a
hmm
friend about this last night. Like, why is this man upset with you? What did you do?
hmm
That well
well,
is that's yours. You got to sit in that,
it's
and
that
having
well
to
right there.
sit in it is the hard part. It's hard to sit in those things, but get you, I don't care who it is. Get you some damn help. Get you a therapist. Get you a therapist. Get you a life coach. Get you somebody that you
Right.
trust. Even if it's a preacher, somebody. Get you somebody that you trust that is responsible, and somebody who can guide you to the guide you the right way. Because you can have guidance, but all guidance isn't good guidance.
Well, it's
So
against no.
get you somebody that's gonna pour into you, but tell you, hey baby, you messing up, or
Right.
hey babe, you wrong,
Put it
and
together.
there's no way around that. And I
Yes.
think if
hmm
you have more people that are willing to do that, I think overall things can shift. But people are afraid to say anything, and people feel like they don't do anything. So
Yeah.
it's
'Cause, what's that going to solve? What's the purpose in that? But
it's
also,
not.
and going back to what you were saying about going back into the music space, and what you were saying about giving more of yourself. That's another thing. A woman expects for a man to give of themselves, be the provider, and all this stuff. But when it comes to asking what they bring to the table, what you mean? What you say? What do you bring to the table? Not, no, I'm not talking about just looks. I'm not talking about just
Your
what's
hoo ha.
you know when you be, I am the table. Yeah, you could be the table, but what ingredients? Like what meals are you bringing to the table? What else is there? Give a little bit more. So that's another thing too. Another double standard right there. So I
Yeah,
want to give you
the
a couple
people
of
don't bring
examples. Yeah.
anything to the table these days. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah, 'cause I'm the table, but I gotta present more. I'm presenting, you know, I'm presenting a set. I'm like that table is set for you. So yeah, there's a difference,
But
So
even in that, you have
yes,
to, even with that table being set, you still have to give grace too. I think grace
yes, oh yeah,
is a thing that has to come from both ends. Everybody's
absolutely.
not going to have it 100% together.
All
Are you
right.
willing to build with this person from where
Yes,
they are and be there through their evolution? So when they
yes,
actually have the full table, because they may come with the top of the table, but they may not have the legs,
the
or they
legs.
may come with the table, but they don't have no chairs. Like, are you gonna tough it out? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
right. But come with
I'm
something,
seeing
bring
endurance
something.
is a
Yeah,
thing of
yeah, but yeah, I understand
it's a
what
rare
you're saying.
thing.
But bring something though. You got to bring something.
You got to
You
bring
got
something.
yes, you got to bring something. You can't because we're not in our 20s anymore. So we can't just be like building a whole table from scratch. No, you got to come with something.
Mm-mm. I don't know how many more summers I got left, but I ain't wasting them on you.
Right.
No,
See, right.
no.
So you get it. But I'm glad that you're able. That self reflection is so important, DJ. So I'm proud of you for that.
No,
That self
thank
reflection,
you.
the boundaries that you put forth. And so before we dive into your background, I want to know more about you setting those boundaries and what's your approach towards remaining steadfast in those boundaries and knowing when to kind of balance it, like you said, knowing when to give a little grace, but knowing when to say, okay,
I'm a
this
firm believer I'm a firm believer in having good people around you, but having real people around you. Everybody's real. Let everybody tell it. I'm real. I'm real. I'm real. Everybody's Jennifer Lopez. But everybody's Jennifer Lopez. But are you really though? Like, do you say something when it's tough to say it, and how do you say it? You see what I'm saying? Like, can you be real with me when it's hard to be real with me? can
Mm,
you can you even when I'm going through something, can you be like, okay friend, like, I know you going through this, but let me just show you the mirror to this real quick. Like, can you be that friend? And for me in this relationship, I have a close girlfriend. Jayla is like my sister, love her down. She has done backgrounds for me. She has helped me
okay.
move. Like she's been around. And was dealing in this situation, and something happened, and one thing that she said to me was, she was just like, I really want you to do an assessment of this relationship. We're not going to pro and con and, should I stay, whatever. I just want you to look at something. Look at this relationship. You don't even bring this person around us. That right there is a telltale sign.
Right.
But if the people that are in your space, I don't care what the relationship is, if the people that are in your space, if they don't make you feel the way that your real friends make
Hmm.
you feel, if
Right.
they don't make you feel the way that you feel when you're around your family, those are people that should not be in your space. Those are people that are not adding to you. Those are people that are taking from you. And they very well may be good people, but they're not your people.
They're not in
And
the
you got
life.
to be okay with letting those people go. I
Hmm.
have a tendency to try to reason with
Hmm.
people's
Hmm.
foolishness, even their bad ways. People have done things, people have said things, people have, whatever. And I'm always the one to try to reason. I'm always the one we can have a conversation. But sometimes a conversation is
It's
not
not for
needed.
everyone. It's not for
It's
everyone.
not needed. Everybody is not, it does is not worthy of a conversation with you. Sometimes take the offense and run. And
Yes.
for me, that was my okay. I'm here in this situation. I don't like the way I feel in this situation. I can't even be me. I can't even laugh. And so here I am with this person. I'm miserable. All I do is cry.
Mm,
Like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm so wrapped up in you trying to make sure I don't upset you. But here I am, I'm upset all the time. And I
mm,
don't have an outlet. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, okay, these are the things that gotta shift. You can't stay. But in addition to you not being able to stay, there are a few other people that can't stay either.
right.
And so for me, I remember how those things felt. And I'm a firm believer in, you only need to be burned one time by the iron to know that it's hot. There are
Yes.
some instances where you will find yourself, and people genuinely are sincere. And so you will be like, you know what, I can give you another chance. But it's very rare that you don't get burned again. And for me, I think I've seen a lot and I've experienced a lot. And I think in certain instances, I saw and experienced a lot too soon. And so those things, because I remember how badly they hurt, or I remember the cost of those experiences, those are things that I just don't want to experience again. So the moment that I see those characteristics, those traits, those qualities in a person, I separate myself. If I'm in a scenario or if I'm in a space and the energy just doesn't align, or if the energy feels stale, or if it feels forced, I remove myself from those situations. Because anything that's really for you, any where you're supposed to be, it's not gonna be forced. You're not gonna
Yes.
have to do a whole lot of jumping through hurdles and doing
Right.
backflips just to get to it. It'll naturally happen because it's supposed to. You won't
Yes.
be having to force anything. And where I am in life at this point, I'm not about forcing anything. I'm not about forcing anything. If it has to be forced, let's not do it at all.
Absolutely. And
And I'm not about
yes.
convincing anybody of anything either. You believe what you want to believe. I'm
Right.
I'm I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, you just said a word, DJ. You just said a word.
And
Yeah,
the
and
doors of the church are open.
and hallelujah.
Okay.
And also you have to just be okay with being okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I feel
But
like
that's part of doing the work. And so when we talk about the work, a lot of people have not even begun to acknowledge that they have a lot of work to do. For me, it was that situation that I was like, let me get me a therapist. Let me go talk to somebody, because clearly, this ain't right and this keeps happening. And my therapist is a black mother. She is like, she's a strong black woman. And the first thing she said was, why are you here? And I'm like, well, I'm here because I'm in this relationship and da 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 da. And this is happening and I'm not doing anything, but this keeps happening. And she's like, mm-mm. She's like, we got our work cut out for us. She's like, first of all, do you even know what accountability is? And I'm like, no, what's that? And she's like, okay, yeah, we definitely got our work cut out for you, for you, because you got to figure out what that is. You got to figure out what that means, and you got to stand in that. And having to stand in it, as I said earlier, it's an uncomfortable thing. It's an uncomfortable thing. Having to stand in your stuff, and don't ever let it be a situation where God has to sit you down and you are forced to sit in it. You know what I mean? Like those two things, like, no, no. Mm-mm. I don't want to go through that again. I'd rather just let me sit in my stuff while it's here. Let me deal with it. Let me sort through it, organize it, whatever. Let's dissipate it, dissolve it. We're going to move on. Versus allowing life to happen to you. And then you're forced to sit down and you're forced to deal with all of this stuff, not just the stuff that you initially could have resolved, but you got a whole bunch of other stuff that you've done that you got to take accountability for. And that prolongs your process. And that's what a lot of people are going to experience in just a second if they don't get their stuff together. If you don't, you better leave people alone. You better leave people alone. You better tune into what you got going on. You can't be sweeping around everybody's front door and you got poop and garbage and dust and all kinds of stuff on your front lawn. You got to focus on that first, babe.
Yes. Um,
So for me, that was
yeah.
my thing. It was
That's
like,
it.
let me take a step
Yeah.
back. Let me take a step back. Let me assess my situation. Let me clear out some people, clear out some things, and we're gonna be good. And so that's how all of these experiences tied into the making of what this album is.
And I appreciate that. So we got basically a master class on how to be able to navigate through this body of work that DJ just presented to us. So please make sure you pick up A Soul Without a Heart. The link is in the description box on how to go about this experience. All streaming platforms. The link is in the description box. So thank you so much, DJ, for kind of helping us, kind of guide it, because that was kind of a guide. That's kind of like, what is that? The preface, the preface, the preface of what to explore in this album. So I do appreciate that.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, absolutely.